What up? It's your boy Malik 16 from Plates and Crates, coming to you one last time with the final installment in our introductory panel of how we are launching off this new venture called A RAP CRITIC. And this is the third explainer video. If you have rocked with us and you've sat through videos 1 and 2, then you understand that this, now being the ESPN Sports Center of hip hop, that's what we're running with, is a place where we're going to be reviewing and revisiting classic hip hop albums to determine how much of a classic is a classic. And we're going to do that together as a global hip hop community. I am just the vessel and the mouthpiece for this as someone from the inside, from the mind and the voice of a rapper, and someone who's so much more involved in hip hop than the average person who has written and reported on it in the past, right? So with no further ado, first of all, as you can see, still coming through with the Drink Champs merch. Shout out to DJ EFN and Drink Champs and the homies out of Hip Hop Trivia ATL. Go follow them and go check out one of their events if you ever get a chance. Keep the culture alive. And so if you've been paying attention, you know that on this channel, we will be ranking and reviewing albums in 2 categories only. And that is category 1, the product itself, the album, and then category 2, the rapper's performance on said album. Within each of those categories, there will be 10 dimensions apiece, and we'll be ranking each dimension on a scale from 1 to 5. So all in all, that's 20 dimensions. And what we're doing in this video is explaining what happens after you have all those rankings. What do you do with them? You should have your hands full with 1s through 5s in 10 different categories apiece. We add them up and we figure out from there where we go. When you rank every dimension and it's zeros across the board. Shout out to the Across the Board show, the homies, by the way. But when it's zeros all across, you just had total hate for this whole project. Then the answer to that is that's what it is. It's hate. It's flatline. Dead on arrival. This album didn't even register in the classic conversation to you. It's that simple. Which takes us up to 0 to 29. If all of your rankings, all of your heartbeat ratings got you anywhere from 0 to 29, that is what we call no love or heartbreak. Maybe, either your first time listening to this album or your first time listening to this album in a long time, you realize that the album did not stand up. Maybe when you went back and revisited this classic, it broke your heart because you realized it was trash all along. And you were just living off the hype, all right? Which takes us to 30 to 59. And this is like, and the reason being because that's where most albums fall. This is why it's such a wide range. If your score leads you anywhere between 30 and 59, then you know that it's just a likable classic. Because for most of us, that's what has happened. We've accepted albums as classics because they were reviewed somewhere else. We absorbed that, we adopted that opinion. That's what it is. Maybe we heard it everywhere. It was very ubiquitous at the time. You couldn't escape hearing it. So you're like, oh yeah, it's a classic. Or my favorite, when albums just become classics because time has passed. We just get in the habit of calling things classic because they're old. Most of us like the albums that have been determined classics. They are cool. We have memories attached to them. But you all know, if you've been following from videos 1 and 2, this is not about memories. This is not about nostalgia. This is about quality, objectivity as much as possible in a subjective art form. It's an oxymoron, but we make it work here on A RAP CRITIC because, it's what we do. So 30 to 59 is like, which takes us to one of my personal favorites, 60 to 69, Infatuation. 60 to 69. What a fitting number. Anyone who has been a teenager and thought they were in love only to find out later in hindsight they really weren't, that makes them familiar with what this feels like. Infatuation is where you thought you could have swore you loved this album. You knew you loved it, but you came to A RAP CRITIC, you popped that album back on, you revisited it, with new ears and new eyes, and you were like, this ain't hitting as much as I thought it was. This ain't as deep as I thought it was. This ain't as groundbreaking as I thought it was. I don't love it like I used to. I don't think I ever really loved it. That, my friends, is infatuation. So anything with your rankings that total up from 60 to 69 will let you know that it wasn't real. All right, which takes us to 70 to 79, the I Got Love category. The I Got Love ranking, anyone who's ever been a player or dealt with players is very familiar with that phraseology. It was very popular in the 90s. It's a way of getting around loving something directly. It's a way of letting someone down gently, right? You got a bond with this album. You feel it strongly, but it's just short of it being like in the chest, right? You got love for it. It will always hold a special place in your world, but it just ain't it. So 70 to 79 is that I Got Love for It ranking, which takes us from 80 to 89. Now this is love. This is undeniable. You love this album. It will be in your collection forever. It will stay in the rotation. You will come back to it from time to time. Your rankings have been so high that it puts you in the 80th percentile now. From 80 to 89, it's love. But there's a level higher. There's levels, right? From 90 to 99. That's a little deeper than just love. You are in love with this album, which means can't nobody tell you nothing about this album. It is certified where you come from. In your book, it will go down forever as a genuine, bona fide classic. You are in love with it, and you can take that album and rock with it anytime. That is 90 to 99, which of course leaves only room for one last 1%, the 100. And when it's 100, it is true love, undeniable classic, putting money on it. That's what it is. That is 100. If all of your rankings, same way the flatline work, if all of your rankings brought you a 0 and it's just hate, then if all of your rankings brought you to 100, that means fives all the way in each category, each dimension. That's true love. And hopefully that's what we're aspiring to, but we all know that not every album's gonna make the cut and get that. So that's why this channel exists. I hope that explained it a little bit more. Go back and revisit videos 1 and 2 so you understand how each dimension and category is broken down. And I hope to get into the fun part, which is rating and tallying up these scales. Now, the way this works, okay, is I will be reviewing an album, each video, and running it through our 2 categories and their dimensions, just giving a little history of the album, going over some talking points and things that I've recognized, and asking you all at the end of the video to submit your rankings using the I Used to Love Her scale. You can submit those to me however you feel, either in the comments below. I really like those. By the way, smash that like button, like and subscribe so we can create this global hip hop community. And you also have the option of messaging me on here, or you can DM me on social media, on Instagram, which is Plates and Crates, at Plates and Crates, right? Either way, I'm taking them, send them in, rank them, and what we'll do in the next video, every next video will be a follow-up, and that's how it'll begin. So just to make this clear, each video is a review video, but in the subsequent videos, there's gonna be a beginning segment where we are tallying up the rankings and getting our average, which will include mine. That's the video where I will include my ranking, my personal rankings in with yours, and we'll average them out. And the average is important, which is why we're building this global hip hop community, because the more of you that submit your rankings, then the closer we get to a real reliable mean. So if only 4 of you like and subscribe and turn in your rankings and then add it with mine in there, then that's just what we're gonna have. So that's why it's important to like and subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend about the channel, about the rating system, so we can get as many numbers in there as possible, so we can tally them up and get a real total that's reflective of the final determination. Okay, so that's how it'll work. Video by video, we're gonna really revisit and get to the bottom of this classic debate. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask below. Hit me up, message me, follow the page, follow the social media. Furthermore, I do want to add this, don't let me forget, whoever's individual ranking came closest to what the average is will be privy to a gift certificate from any of our food sponsors, because again, this is Plates and Crates, and you get that. You know what I mean? It's usually going to be like a $10, $15 gift certificate to any of our food partners of your choice. I will make sure I email that off to you. We are all winners in this, but you know, you the real MVP if your ranking came close to what the global hip hop community ranked. I mean, and significantly close, within a reasonable margin. Not you're the closest out of everyone, but super close. All right, it's like the lottery. Maybe you got like 6 out of the 7 numbers. Think of it that way. So that's what we offer here on this channel. I really look forward to going over these scores with y'all, hearing what y'all have to say. Please try to put on your objective thinking caps as much as possible. Not because this is your favorite rapper, not because your mom used to play this rapper all the time when you were growing up in the car on your way to school, not because you like what they did and they saved somebody's life from a burning building, not because you don't like them. You know, there's gonna be albums I review on this channel from rappers that I don't think I care for their persona, but I'm not here for that. I'm not this channel, and I'm not the one to get approached in a club afterwards like, hey, you Malik 16 from that channel, you said my album's whack, you only gave it 3 heartbeats. We ain't here for that, bro. This is global hip-hop community representation. Y'all gonna get tired of me saying it, but again, here we are. Until then, F a rap critic. Talk about it while I live it.
Yo, killer, you fool, man. You know I gotta have my ride check, have my mic check, have my night check. I'm catching my checks. Check me out now check me out. Check me out. Now check me out. Check me out. And you no need to do that price check. That tag is right. Check. Just have your eyes check and have my flight check. Check me out now check me out. Now check me out.